Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Sometimes I just think about this and I just want to tell my 13-year-old self, like, maybe not start reading Twilight. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to save yourself a lot of heartache. Like, you're going to be really happy, but maybe just don't do it.
Yeah.
I just don't. Don't read it. Don't start watching those movies every single day. You're going to cry a lot for no reason. And it's just really embarrassing. You're going to have a lot of conversations with people trying to explain it.
Yeah.
And none of them are going to make sense. And it's going to be a lot of shame. And it's going to lead to a day when you're just going to break down in front of a random house that has no meaning. Welcome to Into the Shame. You know what I mean?
Hey, welcome.
So that's where I'm at.
Welcome home, everyone.
Yeah, everyone listening, I'm sure you have a lot of shame too.
Yeah, this is a safe space for shame.
Shame,
regrets,
and regret.
mistakes. Yeah.
Cody, how are you doing?
I'm great. I got my coffee in my smiley face mug. I'm feeling great.
Oh,
it's the morning.
That's very pure.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing great. I recently found out a very shocking fact about popcorn that I'm kind of grappling with.
Okay.
And it's
Can
kind
popcorn
of fun.
be shocking?
It can.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So I don't know if you know this about me, because you haven't met me in person, but there's a good chance that, like, whenever people see me in person, I'm almost always eating popcorn.
At any given moment.
Like, I have a lot of chronic pain, but I would say some of that is always because I have a popcorn kernel stuck in my teeth. It's a problem.
Sure.
I just like a good munch of crunch. You know what I mean? Which is...
Oh my god.
It's just a problem because I also have a lot of social anxiety of, like, making noise when I eat too. So trying to find a way to, like, stealthily and quietly eat popcorn has become a challenge that I have mastered too throughout the years. But there was a point I think it was yesterday, maybe it was 2 days ago, when I was eating popcorn and my boyfriend looked over at me and he was like, "Did you know that popcorn was cereal once?" And I was like, "Shut your mouth." Don't fucking... I love this stuff. Don't say things like that. And so we asked his Google Home because we're children.
And that's how you... millennial culture.
And that's how you settle arguments, is you just ask the walls, and the walls speak back, which I don't trust that anyway. That's a whole different conversation.
Oh my god.
Because Tom is always listening. But it's true, Cody, that popcorn used to be served with milk and honey as cereal. Nope.
Stop.
No, because it's haunted my dreams and I need the world to know. And I don't know how to move forward with one of my personal favorite things.
So, like, this is different from, like, kettle corn, right?
Yep.
Why would anyone put milk in that? And honey? No.
So, So, before Corn Pops.
Yeah.
Yep. They used to serve soggy popcorn with milk and honey.
Oh my god.
Yep. So what I would like you to do is I want you to stop eating your toast right now.
I've already eaten it, but...
I want you to stop it. And I want you to... like a little baby bird. And I want you to go and make yourself a nice little bowl of popcorn cereal, please.
No.
And thank you.
No.
I don't know how to move forward.
No, I don't think we can.
Because now there's a distinct before and after of this information.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to shut up without telling everybody that I know this. Like, how do I not just go grab someone on the street and, like, hold them on the shoulders and tell everybody this information?
Everything you know is a lie.
Because now I'm the person who now believes in aliens and also this. And I'm like, who am I?
Oh my god. How is it that every week your boyfriend manages to ruin this podcast? Like, inadvertently just sleeps in and just shits all over it.
Honestly, that's such a mood. Like, he's the cryptid. It's fine. It's
this
fair.
whole time you've been dating a cryptid.
No, okay. Well, there is a redeeming quality. So,
Did you know that your boyfriend's the Mothman? Real quick.
Yeah. I believe that. So, you know what? Confirmed.
That checks out, actually.
So, there is a redeeming quality. He's from St. Helens. And I don't know if you all know what that is, because you don't.
No.
But it's one of the filming locations from Twilight.
Sure.
The OG Twilight. And so where I celebrated Independence Day, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's Steve Rogers' birthday, and also Malia Obama's birthday.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit easier it's a little bit easier to pinpoint once you remember what those are. How I celebrated that was I took a Twilight filming location tour, more of a like informal one, with him, which was funny because bless his soul, he does not know locations at all. So once we got closer, it was like my honing beacon went off and I was like, this looks familiar. And so
I know this place.
And it was very embarrassing for me personally because I could not keep my shit together. And this is a very quiet town. And so it was just me hyperventilating in the middle of nowhere. And so by the request of some of our lovely Twitter folks, I did film myself walking around this town. And so it's, by the time that this is up, it is already up for our patrons.
Yeah,
of just me literally screaming and crying throughout this town. And St. Helens is also known for where Halloween Town was filmed. So some of these locations will also look familiar for that as well. But some of our friends from Coffee with Rachel were also there recently. So shout out to our street team for doing that too.
Doing the Lord's work.
Exactly. But we also have some current events, which we should talk about, because some good shit also just happened, too. First of which is that, now that we are done talking about the Twilight Saga, all of the movies are now up on Amazon Prime Video.
Great.
So you're welcome.
Guys.
It's just because we talked about it so much.
Yeah.
That they are now up on there this month. So
we had to watch, or I had to, you had all the movies, but I had to watch shitty bootlegs so you guys could run and watch it on Amazon Video, and you're welcome.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so I think it's literally all of them as of July 1st. So more than 10 hours of movies.
God,
you're welcome.
No.
So got a blast. We can do this podcast later. Even though I own all of them, I will still be watching them on there.
My God.
It's fine. But Cody, we have some Charlie's Angels news that I would like you to talk about.
I'm so excited. Charlie's Angels is back. We got K-Stu. We got Lupita Nyong'o. We got Naomi Scott. Everything is so good.
It's literally the best possible cast.
It's so good.
God.
I just want to
that they
punch
chose.
everything. Yes, they all look so good.
Yeah, we're looking at this first post article, and my God, just I've seen Ocean's 8. How many times now? 18. I can't even imagine how many times I'm going to see this.
Oh my God.
MoviePass is going to kill me.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's okay. It's worth it. Oh. And it's next year.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm hoping that Elizabeth Banks does the Lord's work. So, fingers crossed. So, we will update as soon as we know. I can't wait for the promotional photos. Fingers crossed. Now we have a collective piece. Thank you, Google Daily Digest, for this. It's this gift that has a very promising image on it as well.
This is incredibly good.
Is it incredibly good, or is it just fine?
Listen, there's layers. I do like how the author has like a little bio, and it says writer, comedian, carb lover.
It's
That's
fun.
fun. That's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This is a piece titled 7 Kinks and Fetishes That Are More Popular Than You Think. It's great. It has a lot of gifts in it. And so they're, number one, shocking to nobody, because it has a lot of 50 Shades stuff in it, is that it's BDSM. It's so great. It's shocking to no one. Number two, though, pretty shocking to me, I guess, is foot fetishes.
Welcome to the internet, baby.
It's just pretty high. I did not expect that to be that high.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So, that's, I don't know. And then, I don't know where they got this information from. So, I don't know if it's from, like, a study or something. Anyways, it's fine.
Someone just, like, this person made a list, and it was like, I like these, so I'm just gonna say they're super popular.
Was it a man on the street? What was it?
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, excuse me. Really quick. Can you do this real survey for me?
We are revamping Billy on the Street.
God, please. You would, okay, it's fine. I just, is spanking number 7? Is foot fetishes number 2? Is it?
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
Does it?
Yeah. I don't know,
It's
spanking seems like a weird, I don't know.
I mean, to Anna?
Yeah. Sure.
I'm just saying. So anyways, go ahead and take a look at that collective piece if you are interested. And then this last one. Would you like to take the reins on this?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, this is from Cinema Blend, which has a cute little blender icon, and it's extremely good.
It's very cute.
And it's basically about how in Berkeley, in Michigan, not California.
Yeah, it's not UC Berkeley.
Not the Berkeley that people know of. Someone hid the 50 Shades of Grey movies in, like, the library, and the librarians are like, no. This is censorship. No, ma'am. We don't do this. This is a library.
How many times do you think that students tell, like when they're in high school, they tell their other classmates, like, oh yeah, I'm going to Berkeley. And they're in fact, they're actually going to the Berkeley in Michigan, but they try to promote themselves of like, oh yeah, I'm going to UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
Try to make themselves seem cooler than they actually are. I love this a lot just because all the librarians are trying to be like, oh yeah, actually this is censorship. We're trying to keep things equitable here, and inclusive. But in fact, the people that did this are actually just doing the Lord's work, because why are there 50 Shades movies in this library?
What was, like, the book or, like, couple of books that you, like, always checked out when you were a kid? Like, over and over again.
This is embarrassing. Okay, so at my school library in elementary school, there were 2 main areas that I went to. In nonfiction, I was either always picking out books about the Titanic or Italy. There was no in between. Yeah. Or I was always picking out the Magic Tree House.
Yeah.
Is that what that was called?
Yeah.
Yeah, those. At my school library. And we had a 9-book maximum, and I always picked out 9 books.
Oh my god.
Because I was that bitch.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
Yeah. What about you?
So I had, like, 3, like, tiers of things. Like, so one would always be Nancy Drew. Duh.
Ooh, yeah.
All of that shit. Fuck the boys, whatever their fucking names were.
The Hardy Boys.
Fuck the Hardy Boys. Nancy Drew was where it was
at. Fuck the Jersey Shore Boys.
Yes, correct. And so I'd always do that. And then, I don't know if you remember this, but there were So, like, there was Little Woman, but then there was, like, an offshore of that. Either the same author, like a different author, wrote, like, little versions for, like, each of the characters. So they had, like, a little book, like a little thin book about, like, from their POV, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd always read those. And I read Joe's, like, nonstop. But I cycled through, you know? And then I got a lot of Avi books, basically.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I went to Goodwill this week to start building up my classroom library.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up a ton of Nancy Drew books. Just
Hell
because
yeah.
they had so many, and I loved them as a kid so
They're
much.
so good.
Also, they had so many 50 Shades books.
Oh,
It was
no.
very embarrassing. And they didn't even have them in order. They were just, like, scattered throughout their fiction section, and so I kept running by them, and I was like, oh, God.
Again?
Yeah. You can't even just put them in a section. Just, like, let it be. And just,
Like a locked box.
yeah. I just keep, like, accidentally touching these and the Anne Rice books. Like, God, like, let me live.
Please stop.
God, yeah. I loved the Nancy Drew books always got me super excited as a kid. Just, like, because they were hardcover, and so it always felt super important as a kid.
Yeah, you're like, this is a fancy book.
Yeah. Fancy kid, fancy
And it didn't
book.
have the fucking dust jackets. It was, like, beautiful. Just
Yes.
cover printed, beautiful.
Yeah, I, for some reason as a kid, I always didn't like dust jackets.
Yeah.
But now I fucking love them. Them, and, like, with a hardcover book now, when they have, like, the embossed
Ooh, yeah.
booked. Oh, fuck. Why don't we talk about books more? Yeah. This is a fucking book podcast. We just don't talk about books.
Yeah, let's talk about books. Believe it or not, I like books, just none of the ones we read.
I know. God. One of these days, we're actually going to talk about books we like.
Oh my god.
Maybe that'll just be, like, a patron exclusive. Just, like, fucking books we like. Just give some fucking recommendations. Will we ever follow up on the ideas that we actually give for patrons? Will anyone ever hold us accountable?
No, never.
Alright, well, that's fine. Should we talk about chapter 17?
Yeah, dude.
Alright, well. Okay, so chapter 16 ended with them falling asleep peacefully. Never happens.
Gross.
It's super nasty. God. Can we just get back to the sex? So gross. Nasty. These people are gross. And it's morning time. And Christian is asleep, like, in between Anna's boobs, I guess.
Yeah, he's like doing this weird like wraparound, but also like nuzzling.
Yes. Yeah. And he's just, like, blowing raspberries into her boobs. It's, like, a lot.
She's like, I can't move. I'm trapped.
Yeah. So he ends up waking up kind of peacefully, and things are, like, sort of sweet, but then he is shook because he never sleeps, right? Because he's a vampire. Plot twist, this is actually Twilight. We've been joking this whole time. We're actually rereading the whole series. Can you imagine?
Oh my god, no thank you.
So he sleeps well, which apparently never happens for him. The only problem with that, though, is that he overslept because he stayed over at Anna's place, and he's late for a meeting. Very important business meeting because he's a robot. He's like, I'm late. I don't do late. Because he's a businessman who does business things. And so Anna's, like, all happy, right? Because she got to not have sex for the first time and actually, like, not be sore.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, have a sort of relation-y type thing. But Christian's all stressed out and stuff. So, anyways, she is all relaxed and gets ready to go to her job. But they start emailing. And this is where things get kind of gross, because I think E.L. James planned on this being kind of like sexting emails.
Sure.
But it's really... Anna starts this off of kind of... I don't know. They had said this in the last chapter of they communicate better through emails. Mm-hmm. And so she's kind of like, so Christian, here's me trying to explain why when you hit me, I felt gross.
Yeah.
But it kind of turns... At least the way that I interpreted it is him just victim blaming her through like 8 emails. Mm-hmm. And it's gross.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, I really liked it because you felt like you were mine, and did you just want to feel bad? Because if you wanted to feel bad, then don't. And it just came off really weird.
No.
But they go on for like 10 emails, and he's supposed to be in this meeting, and they keep changing all of the titles still, and it's very gross.
Yeah. So gross.
Very gross. Anyways, he keeps being like, go to work. And she does the whole thing of like, if I was listening to myself, I would go to Alaska. And then he's like, well, actually, remember, I can track your phone. And also, I have your blood, so it doesn't matter.
I could clone you. It's so gross. Like, if she's physically typing out, like, if I was really listening to myself, I would be in Alaska. It's like, maybe that's a sign that you're uncomfortable and not happy with the situation here.
Yeah, like, are you really listening to yourself right now?
Come on.
The fact that she's even saying, like, have you sought therapy for your stalker tendencies? Mm-hmm. And they're joking about the fact that he seeks out, like, he has a doctor. Right. That he goes to for therapy, which, I mean, that's not a problem. Like, whatever. Yeah. But the fact that, I don't know, the way that they're talking about this and kind of joking about his therapy, I don't know. It's kind of gross, and I don't like any of it. But one of my favorite things about these emails is when Anna just says, like, shouty capitals.
It's so good.
It's just very good.
Yeah, yeah.
When they finally stop emailing it, she finally just says, like, he's a patronizing son of a bitch sometimes, and it's like, sometimes? What are you talking about?
Okay, come on.
Anna, please.
Anna, baby.
Anyways, before she goes to work, Christian sends her a BlackBerry. Because the car and the MacBook weren't enough.
Nope, of course not.
No. And
we know Anna loves getting lavish gifts. We all know this.
And change.
Yeah.
And his justification was that he needs to be able to contact her at all times. Because sure. And he's like, oh yeah, but it's on loan, so don't worry about it. Anyway, so she goes to work. She comes back. She ends up packing and getting too busy to worry about emailing him back. Because she's like, oh yeah, well, I'll talk to you when I get done with work.
Yeah.
But she gets busy with Kate, with packing, and then Jose comes over.
You know, life happens.
Yeah, life happens.
She's living her life.
Yeah, because it's like her last day there, and they are like celebrating all of that and stuff. So she goes out with Jose to the bar because Kate and Elliot are like literally having sex on the front couch and stuff. Things are weird. And anyway, so she gets back and finally checks her email, and Christian has like called like 8 times and emailed her all of these things and like freaked out. But apparently hasn't actually stopped by. He's had enough self-control. Thankfully, the only reason why, apparently, is because he's gone to this, like, fancy schmancy dinner or something. It's so gross. But she even says, will he ever give me a break? He's suffocating me. It's like, Anna, you're even saying this to yourself. Like, get the hint, girl.
Yeah.
So she finally calls him. They have this really weird, kind of strained conversation to each other, where she's kind of walking on eggshells, trying to make herself be kind of soothing to help him feel better. Mm-hmm. It's kind of gross. But he goes from being super, like, angry boyfriend, rah, 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 to them being like, you hang up, no, you hang up. And it's super weird.
I wanted to shed my skin. I wanted to leave the country and the planet.
Oh, yeah. It was so gross. I think I had to stop myself here and kind of readjust because I wanted to shed my skin too. Yeah. The problem was that if I was reading this in high school, which, like, oh God.
Jesus.
But, like, if I was, I think that it kind of would have been the same with Twilight, where I would have been romanticizing this interaction.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's so messed up, because this is not a healthy relationship by any means.
Right.
But it's being portrayed as one.
Yeah, it's like, it's so rare that we actually get, like, moments that appear to be, like, a functioning relationship, that when we get them, we're kind of like, oh, this is, like, super cute. Or, like, oh, they're, like, you know, they're making it work, and they're, like, you know, learning from each other, right? But, like, no, these are, like, scraps. These are barely anything.
Exactly.
And, like, in the larger picture, they're like, this is nothing. This is still a shitty relationship, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, this is emotional labor in the most textbook form.
Yeah.
But it's sad that I know, like, my high school self would have been conditioned to see this as romantic. Right. And so I know that there are a lot of people that also would have viewed this as such. Mm-hmm. And so it was... That was definitely a moment where I had to check myself and be like, okay, I can see why a lot of people, like, would go into the movies being like, okay, this is why they put these out on Valentine's Day kind of thing. Okay, so there's, like, a break, right? They go into Sunday, and they've moved into their place now. And this is where I started to get genuinely pissed. Because they have a Pike Place Market apartment, which is right in the middle of downtown Seattle. Now, I am in the process of moving to Seattle right now. And so I just got genuinely furious because Anna's talking about how this is like a converted warehouse and there's like brickwork. And she's talking about how she literally says like the apartment is not large, but it's big enough and that it has like 3 bedrooms and a large living space. Oh my God. It's literally in Pike Place Market. Now, I just want all of you listeners to know that 1, 3-bedroom apartments in downtown Seattle don't fucking exist. But there are some that do. And Cody, I just want you to I put it in our notes, but I just want you to guess because I put a very conservative price on there, but I just want you to guess.
That's a conservative price?
Yes. I just want you to guess realistically what the average price for a 3-bedroom apartment in downtown Seattle costs.
Oh God.
What the average costs. For our listeners.
I don't.
Because she's talking about solid wood floors, red brick, kitchen tops of smooth concrete.
And like in downtown, like the city, like city.
Like in Pike Place Market, downtown Seattle, right by the water.
God. Since if you put a conservative amount. I'll say like,
which they don't know.
Yeah, which they don't know. I'll say like 10.
Mm-hmm. Yep. $10,000 a month.
That's bananas.
Yep.
That makes me. I want to die.
For 2 people.
Oh my God.
Which she's saying is not large.
Like, yeah, that's like whatever, you know.
Who are these people?
Anna, just fucking fresh out of college, motherfucker, looking for like an unpaid internship ass bitch. Like.
Yep.
There is no way. No way.
Yep.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Who are they? And they're on the 2nd floor, which like, huh? Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. So they exist, but you're gonna have to pay $10,000 a month.
Jeez.
$120,000 a year.
Whoa.
And that's literally just like rent.
Yeah, that's
it.
Oh my God, that's bananas.
Yep. So just think about that as we move through this chapter.
Just simmer on that.
That is just like the plebes. That is just the Anastasia Steele and Kate Kavanaughs of this. That's not the Christian Greys of this world.
Oh my God.
Wow,
so thanks for joining us for Allie's Real Estate Corner.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to House Hunters. You know, just a not large apartment, just realistic expectations here.
Yeah, just a standard house.
Okay, so anyways, they have a a delivery boy come who brings this very vintage champagne and a helicopter balloon. And Kate's like, what the fuck is this? And Kate is like, weird. But then Anna just keeps repeating, Charlie Tango, Charlie Tango, Charlie Tango. Kate's like, what the fuck is happening? But Anna's like, oh yeah, Christian, he just like flew me in his helicopter to Seattle last week. It's like, okay, weird.
All right.
Stop making up lies, Anna. So anyways, they have this vintage champagne in teacups because that's all they own, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she wakes up and she's like happy because she has the balloon tied to her bedpost or whatever. And she's trying to figure out what she's going to do, if she's going to sign the contract or anything. And then apparently Christian knows when she wakes up because as soon as she wakes up, she gets an email from him. And he sends her all of these numbers that she's going to need to get into his place. Mm-hmm. And it's fine. Anyways, she gets there exactly on time, and she's freaking out because she doesn't know how to blink with mascara on, apparently. Which, fine. That's fine.
Sure.
It happens.
Hey.
Listen, it's fine. Anyways, she gets there. Christian's happy about the fact that she knows how to be punctual. Shows her the newspaper, and she's in it. She doesn't really know how to process that. And she's like, oh, we're friends now. The paper says so. Anyways.
And then he's like, yeah, well, it's the newspaper, so it must be true. And it's like, what a weird, distrusting of the news.
Yeah, Christian.
Do you think Christian's fake news is real?
Probably.
Oh my God.
I would believe that wholeheartedly.
I hate that.
He, as usual, one of the first questions out of his mouth is asking her if she's eaten, and she has not. It's 1:00 and she hasn't eaten, which, fair. I mean, she's probably really anxious. Yep. And she's probably really nervous because this is the day that the OBGYN is coming too. Mm-hmm. She probably doesn't really know what to expect. And so one of the things that he also brings up is that he wants to introduce her to his family. And one of the things that she is nervous about when he says that it'll be odd for him to do so is she immediately jumps to the fact that she thinks he's ashamed of her, which kind of a weird thing to jump to, but they have kind of a weird relationship, so.
Sure, yeah.
And then one of the things that she also asks is because he rolls his eyes, and they kind of have a little quip about that. And then she's like, why are you allowed to roll your eyes? So I just thought that was funny because she's kind of a snarky little thing at that moment.
Absolutely. He's like, God damn it, you were the worst submissive ever.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then, okay, so as soon as the doctor arrives, he gets all excited and he starts clapping his hands. And he's like, are you ready for some contraception? And it's weird because Christian's a weirdo.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah. And then, so that's where the chapter ends. And so chapter 18 starts with Dr. Green, who's straight to business, no messing around. She seems pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And so the two of them start talking, and the two of them decide together on her taking a birth control pill. And it seems fine. But as soon as they come back down, what's pretty good about this is she's for no particular reason at all, she turns to Christian. She's like, all right, Christian, don't fuck this up. Which is totally out of character for a doctor to say, but it's
Absolutely.
pretty choice.
Yeah. You're a medical professional.
But it completely takes him off guard, and it's pretty good.
And then she's like, yeah, I'm gonna charge you so many thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Shithead.
Yeah, it's so good. And then Christian asks her how it went, and she stares him straight in the face, and she's like, oh yeah, things were fine. Dr. Green said that I can't have sex for a month, though. And Christian goes white in the face. He's like, what the fuck what happened up there?
What did you do?
And it's so good because she's like completely pranking him.
Oh my god.
And then he like gets all pissed in the face, and then they're just like completely messing with each other, which was like a pretty good moment for a second.
Yeah.
And then
Actually, like a little bit cute.
it was pretty good. And then they have dinner, or lunch, whatever. It's fine. I don't know.
Time and illusion.
Anna says this weird thing, though, which I don't know if you understood. She's like, no man is an island except Christian Grey. Did you understand what that meant?
No.
It was the weirdest thing I'd ever read in my whole life.
Yeah, I don't...
And she says inner goddess. Like...
Stop. Yeah, I know. God, she says it so many times in these chapters, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think maybe it's like, he's like... self-sufficient or like doesn't want, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense no matter how you justify it.
Yeah. And then okay, so they have lunch or whatever, but okay, so here's the thing, she doesn't sign the contract. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is the whole point of her coming over, was to sign this contract, and she does not.
That was the plan.
The rest of this chapter is them in the red room.
Yep.
What is the point? I don't understand what he does with everybody else if they don't sign the contract before doing this stuff. But yeah, so the rest of this chapter is them having sex. And yeah, I don't know. I noticed her saying my sex a lot after last week.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier to do. They kind of fulfill her fantasy of like her sex dream, because he has that like crop now.
Yeah.
But there was one thing I wanted to point out. So because it's been a long time since I did like I taught sex ed and stuff, and I'm not actually that well versed in BDSM. But so he's talking about like her stamina, right? Because this is like her first time with like this interaction and like actually fully being in the red room. Yeah. But she like starts to drift off because she's like tired. And he's like not happy with that. But he's like, I need you to wake up because like I need more than this.
We're not finished.
Is that not like disrespecting consent?
Yeah,
because to me that would seem like she is done.
Right.
So, and I am not an expert in this territory.
Sure.
But to me that is like someone is done in this space.
Yeah, especially when you are transitioning someone into like a submissive role. It's like you gotta take the hints where they come, you know, like you can't just expect she's at the level where she's not, you know. Yeah,
especially when he's like, but I'll make this quick, you're tired, and it's like, what?
Just how about just that?
Yeah. So that was one of the parts where I was like, I don't understand. If she's like literally drifting off, that just seems like a I don't know. Because I feel like and I know that there's a difference between like being fatigued and like being asleep, but if it's like she is giving you a signal here, take that signal.
Also, so can we talk about these jeans?
We can talk about these memes. Just like literally having sex on a cross. That's a mood.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of stuff. But like, the jeans are real.
Oh yeah, no, the jeans are definitely real. Yeah,
the jeans are real, and he has sex in these jeans that are for sex, specifically for sex.
Yeah, he definitely has sex in the jeans.
He's got sex jeans, and they're like tattered or whatever, and like faded. And Anna sees them, and she's like, "Whoa, those jeans are hot."
I always thought it was a joke, and it's not.
I thought it was a bit. It's not a bit. It's real. But who's ever looked at a pair of jeans and you're like, oh, that's hot?
And maybe it's a difference between, like, the way that, like, stereotypical, like, dude jeans are designed.
Sure.
But, like, the jeans that I wear, I couldn't have sex in those jeans.
No.
Those my jeans are too expensive to have sex in.
I'm not gonna soil these jeans. No, ma'am.
I'm not going to have sex in those jeans, and I am not going to soil my jeans. I don't wash my jeans enough for that. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
Denim is not meant for that.
No.
Mm-mm. Not my jeans. Mm-mm.
I like this new character you're testing. Not my jeans.
Not my jeans.
No, ma'am.
No, okay, hold on. Have you... Now imagine that Levi's commercial.
Oh, man.
Levi's, you can fucking these.
You can fucking these jeans. They really missed out on a cross-brand promotional tactic. Like, that would have been a very good marketing juncture.
Because do you remember, like, in old school movies when they used to just, like, zoom out into the window or, like, into the sea, and that was supposed to be, like, they're having sex? Can you imagine if it was just, like, a hard zoom into the, like, jean pocket, into just, like, the branding of the Levi's?
Oh my god.
And it was just, like, you could just... Yeah.
Oh my god.
You can fucking these. And this is when we transition into our ad spot for Levi's.
Yeah, this is sponsored by Levi's. The jeans you can fucking.
Levi's, you can fucking these.
Oh my god.
Come into these jeans, you know what I mean?
Stop!
Oh my god.
Man, why did you do teaching? You could have been in advertising this whole time.
Stop, leave me alone. God. Okay. Okay. So anyways, they have sex a lot, and then she has like a room or whatever, and the chapter ends by her going into that room. I don't know, he like carries her into that room. So like a
Beautiful.
small child. Like
Yes.
it's like a fair I don't know. He just like carries her into that room.
Yeah.
I don't know how to properly. He just like scoops her up and carries her.
Just a little scoop.
Yep, like a scoopity doop or whatever.
That's the one.
So next week we have chapters 19 and 20. God, we're so close to being done with this.
Jesus.
Do you know what that means?
No, stop.
We get to watch it.
I don't want to watch it.
Whose voice was that?
That was my inner demon.
Your inner goddess.
Stop. No.
I want to find a shirt that says inner goddess.
No! Why?
Because I want to wear it.
No. The inner goddess is me. I'm my own inner goddess. My inner goddess is my outer goddess.
Do you know that there has to be one on Etsy somewhere that's like
Stop,
super
I know they exist.
gross
I hate
and
it.
cheesy? I'm going to find one and I'm going to wear it. I'm going to get you one for your birthday.
I'm gonna fucking scream.
Okay, before we go, I want to say a super nice thank you to all of our lovely patrons. So Shannon Clearwater I'm going to do Shannon as the screech of joy I made when I saw Bella's house in person.
Aw. Cute.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jessica Stanley, who is that hot pair of sex jeans.
Oh my god. Jessica.
I feel like I always give Jessica the short end of the stick every week. Like, what's the worst thing I can think of? I'm sorry.
Jessica's the OG. Okay, and Katie Weber is the Charlie Tango helicopter balloon.
Ooh.
You know, just riding high.
Cute.
Okay, so Taylor Brown Browntown.
She's back.
Finally back from
She's
vacation.
returned from her slumber.
Yep. Oh, god damn it. I dropped my ring.
Allie.
Taylor, God, why did you do this?
She just came in and like swatted it off you.
Taylor, God. That's so disrespectful. God. Okay. So Taylor sent 3 fantastic fanfictions.
Oh boy.
That are ridiculous. So thank you for that. God.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Doing, honestly...
Braver than the U.S. Marines.
Okay, for real, though. Because,
Getting in those trenches? Are you kidding me?
Doing things that nobody else will ever do.
Unspeakable things.
Things that, I wish you could put on your resume, but please don't. God. Okay. So this one is called 50 Shades of Sanity, and it was written by Viola Valentin. Sure. Yeah, sure. And the summary of this is Dr. Anastasia Steele, a young rising star in the psychology world, is a forensic psychologist, working for the FBI. Anna is assigned to evaluate the mental condition of Christian Grey. But Grey is a complicated man, maybe the most complicated and troubled that she's ever analyzed. Can Anna weave her way through Grey's personality and uncover what truly happened? And this was published in March of 2015, so this was pretty recent. Okay. I understand, Mr. Grey. I reached into my bag and pulled out my planner. Unfortunately, I need to be going to my next appointment. When would be a convenient time to meet? When would it be a convenient time for you, Dr. Steele? I tried to hide my frown. Again, he was being overly polite. My next slot is at 11:30 this Thursday. Mr. Grey nodded. Perfect. I will see you in 2 days' time then. I reached into my bag again and pulled out a business card. This is the address of my clinic. Mr. Grey chuckled. So you've determined that I'm not insane? I've determined that you're safe enough to meet privately. Safe? I've been accused of double homicide. I got to my feet. You're the only criminal I'm currently evaluating. If anything happened to me, I doubt you'd even receive a trial and would be sent straight to prison. Besides, if my evaluation of you is favorable, then that would help your case in court. And what if it's unfavorable? It doesn't matter. My aim is to uncover the truth, and I will state that truth in court, to help the jury come to their decision. If you are innocent, then it will help prove with my evaluation of you. If you are guilty, then I will see to it that you're locked behind bars forever. And which do you think is the truth, Dr. Steele? I shook my head. I have no basis to make that decision on yet. I held out my hand. This time it didn't wobble. He took it and gave a firm, business-like shake. It has been a pleasure to meet you, Dr. Grey. The pleasure is all mine. I didn't like the way Mr. Grey grinned when he said pleasure. As I turned around and left the coffee bar, I could feel Mr. Grey's gaze glued on me, and I was sure that his eyes were directed at my black pencil skirt. I rolled my eyes. Womanizer. The bell chimed once again as the door swung behind me. And scene.
Damn.
It's definitely some Silence of the Lambs bullshit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, as we say in Seattle,
get bit.
Get whipped. And also the rent is too high. Guys, fix it.
Honestly, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrauseFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.